Hi everyone, welcome back to Minecraft and the channel. And here's a question I want to ask you guys. How's the weather been in your areas? Because weather's been a little bad lately for me personally. We've had a couple storms lately. Ooh, man, not good, not good at all. And they were just sudden. They had basically appeared out of nowhere. And that's something that I think is kind of interesting for you, a lot of guys out, for all of you guys out there, is just keep an eye on the weather. Sometimes it just storms happen, and well, you gotta play safe when that happens. Like we can't just all go out there and just play in the rain now, can we? But overall, weather's been a little off here because for the past couple of months it's been not on and off raining and been a little colder than usual. It's pretty interesting what's been going on. Well, at least here where I live. I don't know about anyone else, but that's what has been happening to me recently. And well, I think what is going on with you guys would be probably completely different. Maybe some are having a heat stroke because of how hot it is, or some of you is just sitting here in the nicest weather in the world because you live on like some sort of tropical island retreat or something like that. So I don't know what everyone's situation's like. Oof. But yeah, overall I think we can all agree that weather is fucking weird, and I don't know if anyone can ever predict it. I don't know if anyone can truly predict the weather. I don't know about you guys, but I personally have no real interest in studying the weather because to me, I think the weather's gonna always be a little unpredictable, if you know what I mean. It's like, I don't think we can truly 100% guess what the weather is gonna do. We can observe that, hey, there's gonna be clouds moving in one direction and off in another direction. But right now, I don't think we can truly, predict it. All we know is that the weather is the weather. So yeah, I think that's all I can come up with for that little conversation. So let's move on to something else. Like I don't know. I think everyone can safely say that the base is coming on along nicely anyway. We can all agree on that, right? Or ish. Like, I'm still unsure about some things about it. I think I'm gonna keep trying and messing around with it until I get it, like, perfectly the way I want. You know? Like, I want it to look, like, kind of like a house-ish kind of thing, and maybe we can move the staircase around or something like that. Back to it when we get more wood. Speaking of which, I don't know about if you remember our conversation about last time about purpose and all that. Here's one that just like came up in my head. The idea of the end of the world, that thing that's been prophesized by, oh, I don't want to know how many things out there now. It's like the multiple religions, different people, all that. It's like apparently our world is going to end one day, and it's like, yeah, I know it's going to end when the sun expands, but I don't know if it's going to end because of some sort of a big overlord coming in and deciding that it wants to enslave all of humanity or something stupid like that. I don't know if the world is going to end like that. I think the world is going to keep going for a very long time. Long after we're all gone, I think the world is still going to be here for a very, very long time until the sun naturally expands and then wipes out the earth and that way. Right now, and by then I'm betting we'll be in another star system by then. I don't think we have anything to worry about for a very, very long time. Now, the only thing that I would be personally worried about is if we go extinct because we decide to bomb each other to death. Or we just find something that, like, a la Dead Space, where it's like, oh, it's some sort of Lovecraftian monstrosity, and we have unleashed it on the universe, and now all life in the galaxy is gonna die. I think if anything, if humanity's gonna die, it's gonna die from something stupid like that. Someone decides to unleash a Lovecraftian type monster, or we're gonna go to war with an alien species, or we're just gonna blow ourselves up. I think that's what's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna die. We're all gonna die because because someone was because of some sort of biblical prophecy. No, I think if humanity's gonna die, it's gonna die because we're stupid enough to go to war with something that we shouldn't have. That's it. That's what's gonna happen. Or we just get naturally bred out. Like that could also happen. It's like we will naturally just get bred out by another species, and then humanity's basically no more. There will be no more humanity at that point because all of our entire race got completely bred out entirely. The other species somehow kept decided to keep breeding with us until we got wiped out. That would actually be an interesting way to do a sci-fi type species, you know? It's like, instead of killing races through conquest, they do it through sex. And that would be that would be funny as hell, so someone better make it a comedic series where the alien species doesn't win through wars, it wins through outbreeding everyone else. Like, that's literally what it does. It's like it breeds so fast. Well, it breeds with everything, every part of that species, and then eventually that species is no more and it's the other species. I think that would be pretty cool. I don't know what that species would be called or something like that, but I think it'd be pretty funny if someone did that. Oh, I guess not cool, just funny, because it's not like I don't know if that species actually exists, but the idea of it would be like, oh, it just outbreeds well, it just breeds with us until we're all gone, and whatever offsprings that species and another species created will always be that hostile species, quote unquote, that just breeds with everything. Holy crap! I went through an entire iron axe, but yeah, I think that would be a concept, right? I think many because we always do some kind of like a warlike species for something that just wants to wipe out everything, right? Or something that just is just pure evil. How about pure evil but with sex? That that would be something. I don't know what you're gonna call that species or what it should be designed after, but yeah, go ahead, try to do that. It kind of sounds like an incubus or succubus in a way. It just breeds like crazy. Something I think is going to be very interesting if we ever get to that point is like space exploration. I think space exploration is going to be kind of cool. If we ever reach that point, that is. I think we should truly try our hardest to actually start trying to explore, space. Trying to get out there and see what we find. Make our own market universe. I don't think we should stay on Earth forever. I think we should eventually try to expand out in that big, giant galaxy we got out there. Because it's huge. It's got millions upon millions of stars already, and there's potentially countless worlds out there. So why not just start, trying our best to reach the point of space exploration, Just start getting to the point where we can have FTL travel and just go nuts. Go from one end of the universe to the other in just a few years instead of however long it would normally take us. Like generations or something like that. I think that would be interesting if we can get to the point where we can just travel faster than light. Like, I don't know how we can do it, but I think we should try. We haven't tried it yet, so we haven't truly tried making faster than light travel. All I know is that scientists currently claim it's impossible. Why? Because they say we can't, nothing can go faster than light. Well, have they tried? Have they tried to make something go faster than light? How do they know? Is it because of Einstein? But he didn't know. Scientists in Einstein's era didn't even know that they could split the atom, so how's he supposed to know? When they didn't even know that we could split the atom or do some of the things that no one could ever think of. I think we can potentially travel faster than light. We just need to figure it out. That's all. We just need a dedicated team to go out there and find a way for us to travel faster than light. It's just some way. Figure it out. I don't know how you're going to do it. Because here's the goofy thing about some sci-fi movies is the whole idea of stasis pods, I always found it a little goofy that the best way to travel through space is to use stasis pods. It's like, okay, if you're traveling through space and using stasis pods, and somehow the entire civilization that is using stasis pods to travel through space somehow does not develop in the years it would take to travel from one end of the universe to the other, because those sci-fi universes that just so happens to be traveling in spaces stasis pods are also using like are slower, much slower traveling ships. They're like kind of using our technological ships now that I think about it. It's like they're rocket propelled ships that go into the universe, and they somehow can get there in just several years. And the explanation for why all the humans are still alive on the ship is they go to sleep for all throughout that entire time, and they have some way to keep themselves alive throughout that entire journey. I'm not saying that stasis, the idea of freezing yourself, is impossible per se. I just find the idea of that's how we're going to travel through space kind of goofy. I think it would be far more plausible if we somehow found a way to travel faster than light overall than going to a basically a giant long nap. A very long nap, if you know what I mean. Because it seriously, it does get a little goofy when you think about it. It's like, oh, we have to go take a nap for 400-ish years, and somehow our entire civilization just doesn't progress throughout that entire 400 years. You want to know what's going to happen? Our civilization is going to progress in that 400 years, and they'll probably find a way to go faster than light. That's what's going to happen. It's not a really debate. They'll figure out a way to go super fast, and I think that's kind of what some sci-fi actually kind of does. Is like they go, oh, it's kind of goofy that to make it to where we have faster that we have ships that can travel the universe, but in order to get there with everyone alive, we have to go to sleep, basically. So they always go, you know what, we're gonna write that, and we're gonna make it make them end up in a world where the galaxy kind of just advanced. Because why the fuck wouldn't the galaxy? Why would the galaxy go on pause throughout those colonists' journeys when they're just going to figure out more technologies and discover everything? Because this was going to happen. I think, oddly enough, Halo 4, as little praise as I can give that game, actually did it somewhat right with the idea of, well, Master Chief is going to wake up 4 years later, so things are going to change. Because 4 years just passed by. So they definitely had things change. Not the best choices, I would argue. Whereas, like, suddenly Master Chief has this completely different set of armor. Cortana looks fucking different. Don't ask how she's looks different, but she just does. And suddenly, the Unicy is somehow managed to get all of their colonies back. Even though it was explicitly stated in the prior games and books, I should say, that all of their colonies were wiped out, and yeah, and they're the only planet that the Unisuri currently holds at the end of the fucking Human Covenant War was Earth. So how they managed to rebound, who knows? Who knows? Oh yeah, and we're also going to be changing the entire lore of the Forerunners and Covenant, because fuck it. We're going to change everything. I don't like it when games and shows do that. It's like, we're gonna change things just to change things. It's like, no, you're not. Don't do that. That's just gonna piss everyone off, and now we have to figure out, okay, what's canon, what's not anymore. Like, come on, guys. Can we just stop with that already? Stop changing things just to change things. And how about, and here's another idea, can we stop with the reboots? I'm actually really sick of reboots right now, and we see them constantly. I gotta say it, I'm really tired of reboots right now, to the point that I try my best to basically never ask for a reboot ever. Because I don't want too many things to get rebooted. rebooted. I know sometimes it has to happen, but sometimes I don't know what goes on in a studio's head on or the reasoning behind why something needs to get rebooted, you know? I would prefer it if it kind of you try your best to try to fix what was wrong with the current property instead of just let's just reboot everything from well, from a certain point. Whatever that point is, I don't know. Because we kind of saw that with Star Wars and Star Trek, where they basically restarted. Basically, Star Trek didn't really restart. Star Trek, or more or less, just got another timeline to deal with. And that's just Star Trek, though. It always gets a new timeline to mess around with. Star Trek is Star Trek. It's it's a fun show. I like Star Trek, but I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes it gets confusing when they go on their time travel stuff because now you have to worry about they created new timelines, one where Benjamin Sisko was not this sort of freedom fighter. The next is where well he is a freedom fighter, but no one knows that he's actually that freedom fighter. So he just looks suspiciously like that freedom fighter. Yeah, yeah, and no one suspects a thing except for maybe one group who somehow protects all of the timelines, with little to no explanation. It's it's always fun when sci-fi goes into time travel and multiple universes and stuff like that because I think they always get it wrong or they always mess up or they just end up uh messing with they end up messing with their lore a little too much and now they have to fix it. Because that's the only problem with adding time travel to your stories or time travel multiverses is that it either a uh creates a situation where you completely destroy the story and lore, or B, you could cause major issues for someone later down the line because you accidentally broke the lore to the point that you don't even know how to fix it. And if you were to ask me what one of the worst time travel stories is out there, I gotta say it's gotta be Avengers Endgame. They're they actually contradict their rules for time travel and like straight up. Why was there an old man Steve Rogers at the end of the movie when they explicitly said that that is impossible. You don't actually travel back in your own timeline. When you travel back in time, you create a new timeline. So why the fuck is there an old man Steve Rogers? Did he actually go back in their own timeline and decided to do fucking nothing? Like what? What did he do? Just hung out with Peggy that entire time? You kind of destroyed the character there, Marvel. I'm not gonna lie. You kind of did. It's kind of annoying that you did that, and I'm not. I'm kind of mixed on the whole Falcon receiving the shield thing. I feel like Bucky would make much more sense at that point in time because, well, let's be honest, he literally is Steve Rogers' best friend. He knew him from literal childhood. Bucky Barnes was there the entire time for Steve Rogers, to the point that he even fought alongside with Steve Rogers against Iron Man or even the Avengers and even against Thanos and stuff. Bucky was there. Bucky even got you know uh dusted just like Sam did. So why did Sam get the shield? I don't know. And apparently, according to a lot of comic book people, it wasn't Sam who got the shield first. It was Bucky got the shield first, which, kind of makes sense. Because, again, he's his best friend. He literally fought side by side with Captain America all throughout well, for a pretty hefty part of World War II. And, well, they knew each other from childhood, basically birth. So, why is Captain America giving his shield to the guy he, knew for a couple years versus the guy that he basically knew for his entire life. It's like, and both men are basically the same age. I think I don't know which one's older or which one's younger, but I think they're basically the same age. They're best friends after all. And sure, Captain America did lose Bucky for a short amount of time, because of the thing with the train, and the weapons and all that. I forget. I need to go rewatch that movie. It's a decent movie. It's not my favorite Marvel movie, but it's a decent one. Uh, I definitely like the patriotism in that, and they actually, funnily enough, did something kind of funny where they kind of accurately portrayed what would happen if you shot a taxi door from 1942 with a 9mm pistol. It and it went straight through. You can even see that Steve Rogers got injured by that, which I find it kind of interesting that is one of the few times Hollywood actually did their research. Like, they actually researched on what everyone was going to be using. They researched what the American troops were using. They researched what a potential German spy would have used. And it was kind of crazy to think about that movie. Well, of course, y'all also had Tommy Lee Jones in there, which he's a really good actor. But you had this movie that's like kind of accurate in a lot of different ways. It's kind of crazy that this Marvel movie gets a lot of things right, but it still also gets some things wrong, like the idea of an entire Nazi division suddenly going rogue because they have like laser weapons, and they think somehow this Nazi, this Nazi, yeah, they're still Nazis. This Nazi group can suddenly take on the Reich and the world, even though I think basically a platoon of American soldiers was able to wipe them out. It is kind of silly when you think about it. It's like, when I mean wipe them out, it's like, well, the main base, what they were, one of their main bases at the point in time, and whatever few remained just kind of, got integrated into SHIELD and all that, and just all sorts of fun there, I, I like that. It was cool, and I gotta say right now, I think my favorite Marvel movie might be the second Captain America movie. I just really like the spy aspects of it, and I like the whole idea that Shield, because Shield got infiltrated by Hydra, they're now basically a Nazi organization wanting to take over the world. It it sounds silly at first, but then when you watch the movie, it's like it is actually kind of well done because of how insane it was. What movie was that? Oh, The Winter Soldier. Yeah, The Winter Soldier. That's right. Like that movie was actually really good. Like, they managed to set up the Winter Soldier super well, uh, to the point that it felt kind of good. Now, Civil War, I think, is an all right movie. I definitely think there was some writing problems with it because the whole idea of everyone needs to sign this accord because they're too dangerous. And Tony Stark has, for some reason, decides that the heroes need to be limited in some way. Granted, they do cause a lot of destruction. Like, I think New York really does prove his point alone. But I don't know. It was decent. I definitely like that depiction of Black Panther a lot. I kind of wish they continued with that depiction of Black Panther a little bit more in his own movie, because he doesn't feel as badass. It has nothing to do with Chadwick Boseman, because that dude is actually a really fucking good actor. May he rest in peace. But I just I don't know. I think it's something with the Black Panther movie that just made him feel a little less, you know, badass, kind of less hardened and all that. I don't know what they, I don't know what exactly they did or why the transition from Civil War into Black Panther was so odd that it just felt like they were different characters at some points, you know? I don't know what happened. I I don't necessarily think Black Panther is a terrible movie, but I do kind of think it's a little overrated, if you know what I mean. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but I think the movie's a little overrated. Just a little. Not. I think there's far worse out. Oh fuck. Yeah, I think there's far. Yeah, I think there's definitely far worse out there, but I definitely think the movie's just a little overrated. Well, very overrated, I should say. The CGI is not very good. I remember seeing that going, yeah, that CGI looks kind of trash. It it and it still doesn't look good to this very day. I'm just saying that. I'm just gonna say that right now. I I don't know what happened. At least the CG for Thanos looks pretty good. That's something I can say. Is that the CGI for Thanos looks pretty good. Uh, but here's the thing, guys. After that Marvel discussion, well, by the way, I'm not going to. One last thing. This is the last thing. I'm not. I stopped watching Marvel movies a long time ago. I think a little bit after. Was it No Way Home, I think? Yeah, I think No Way Home because I didn't really like that what was it called? The one with the Eternals. I didn't really like that one. I thought Shang-Chi and the Nine Rings was okay. It didn't really amaze me, but it wasn't terrible. I don't know. I'm not the best movie critic out there, but I don't know. It just was okay to me. You know, it wasn't really the worst thing I've seen, but it wasn't really the best. I guess it has some enjoyable aspects to it. I really don't know. It, it was just kind of there. There was also there was a Doctor Strange movie, Multiverse of Madness. It's kind of whatever. I'm not a big fan of it. I didn't really finish WandaVision. Maybe that's why I didn't get it, or I don't know. It just I don't think it was a very good movie, and we gotta keep him around, don't we? Yeah, let's just kill him. Let's just kill him. Yeah, just kill him. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, you know, I didn't really like I didn't really like Multiverse Madness that much. It was like an okay movie, but it wasn't even it really wasn't very good. I think it might be a little above Shang-Chi, but that's about it. That's really not saying much for both movies. It's not saying much about Shang-Chi, and it's not really saying much about Multiverse of Madness. And The Eternals, okay, yeah, that one's actually kind of hot garbage. I'm not gonna lie. That movie, no. I can't. I don't think I'll ever watch that movie ever again. It just felt messy. You know, it felt like they had either too many characters or the plot was going nowhere. And I typically like to watch superhero stuff. And I just gotta say right now, that movie is, I don't know what they were trying to do with it, but it was something. It really was something. I don't know. And then I think that's the only recent Marvel movies I've seen as of yet. I haven't seen the newest Guardians. I haven't seen, well, really anything in a long while. I don't really have any intentions to. I don't think I'm gonna watch the newest Avengers that's coming out. I don't think I'm gonna watch that. It doesn't seem to be particularly good, and from the early draft of scripts, it might honestly be really bad. I don't know. There's there's some things that shouldn't be said about, movie scripts. And I know movie scripts are hard to make sometimes, but goddamn, you gotta do better than that, Marvel, okay? You used to be at the top of your game, now you're not. So I don't know what's going on with Marvel, but god damn have they fallen into some sort of weird hole that I don't even know if they can recover from. I really don't know if they can recover from this pit that they're currently in. Uh, what else is there? I think there's not much else I can talk about for today, and I also have to end the video now. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one now. Bye.